Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Philip, and this is Rangers Respite, and today I have an update on our tiebreaker. I said it was a 3-day tiebreaker, so at noon today, I counted the votes, and with a narrow 2-vote lead, Copper Fox moves on to round 3. This has been one of the more interesting bouts because I will be honest, I was expecting for it to be a Copper Fox shutout from the beginning because Copper Fox is one of the older and more widely known and respected distilleries. Not that Springfield Distillery isn't respected or respectable. They are, clearly they make good stuff. But it's a matter of like public perception. All of my friends know about Copper Fox. Most of them had never heard of Springfield Distillery. So that's just a thing to keep in mind. Now, voting is still open for bouts 3 and 4, which is, I believe, A. Smith Bowman against Axe Handle. And I think Axe Handle has the lead there. And Cashel versus Spirit Lab. And I believe that Cashel has the edge there. Now, polls are in the description down below, and I welcome you to vote. Even if you don't live in Virginia, please vote. This is sort of, I guess, a glorified popularity contest in which you, the people, get to decide what you think the best Virginia Commonwealth distillery is. And I'm excited to see how it goes this year. We've already narrowed it down to 16. Well, 16 minus 2, so 14. And the next bout there will be 8, and then there will be 4, and then 2. I always schedule this so that I am awarding the Virginia Whiskey Champion trophy, which is, and I can't believe I forgot to get this out. Oh, come on. This Jefferson Cup. I figured that since it's dry week and I'm not doing reviews, I should talk a little bit more about the tournament. You see, this started shortly after COVID-19 in 2022. A lot of distillers were feeling a pretty tight pinch. While spirit sales rose during the pandemic, it was primarily, larger established brands such as Jim Beam Centauri, Heaven Hill, Buffalo Trace, the really big conglomerate brands that already had a good foothold in the industry. And, Brown Forman, you say whiskey, and a fairly large percentage of the population thinks, Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, which, are the two powerhouse brands. And a lot of the smaller distilleries, craft distilling throughout the United States, but in Virginia, my home state, where I grew up, a lot of those distilleries were suddenly faced with the realization that they couldn't rely on the dollars from people buying local, going and visiting. And compounding that was that when I started the tournament, it was roughly around the same time that, and I could be misremembering, but roughly around the same time that the FDA decided that they were going to essentially find the distillers who produced hand sanitizer, who sacrificed spirit production, which would be money, lots of money, down the line. Because remember, these products, this product, this product, that's years. That's years. This, minimum of 4 years in the making. If you don't have spirit, if you're not laying in spirit, you don't bottle it later. If you are sacrificing your production capability to basically, bail out the healthcare industry, I mean, that may be putting it a little bit strongly, but distillers put, because they had the capability to do so, took their production, their spirit production, and they turned it into hand sanitizer that they, in a lot of cases, for a loss, basically for a pittance, sold or even donated that hand sanitizer to first responders, to hospitals, to healthcare industry in general. And, then when the return to school started, selling it to school systems and to teachers. And it sounds like, that'd be a great money-making thing. And it really wasn't, because they were selling at a loss or break even, which means that they struggled to keep lights on. And it really hurt to see, so many distillers hurting. And then to add on to that, the FDA decided that, despite saying that they wouldn't, charge the fees or fines, because these distillers were, essentially putting forward, their skills to help the nation as a whole, they decided that they were going to charge these distilleries thousands of dollars in fees. And it took a lot of public pressure and a lot of, lobbying in the industry to get the FDA to honor their promise. But in the meantime, a lot of distilleries were in a bind. And I don't have a lot of draw, in terms of, media or anything. And I don't have a lot of money to help out these distilleries. But what I did have was a moderate sized following on Twitter and a little bit on YouTube. And so in 2022, I ran the first Virginia whiskey tournament. It was purely by vote on Twitter. I had thousands of votes coming in, and it was probably one of a highlight of my achievements as an adult. And that first year, Falls Church Distillers won the tournament. And when they opened their new facility in Manassas, I got to go and say a few words and talk about the community that they built and what they had done to build the community, not just the production of spirits, but also the public outreach, the shaking hands in the community and growing a fan base. And then in 2023, the winner was Catoctin Creek, one of the big names in Virginia distilling, and someone whom I expected to be the winner in 2022. And I got to deliver the trophy to their representative at a Spirits Expo. And that was very exciting. But the ultimate goal at the end of the day, at the end of the summer, is to, if you've never heard of these distilleries, if I, mention Springfield Distillery down in Halifax, Virginia, you might go, oh, hey, they're near me. you should go visit them. You should go buy their spirits, go buy their merch, support them. Because if you don't support them, we lose local character. We lose that which elevates the local distilling heritage. And you can buy on their website. Every time I do a review of Virginia Distillery, or any distillery, I include in the description a link to their website, and in many cases, you can purchase their spirits. I humbly ask that you do that, because they are the future of distilling. They are the future of the craft. Yes, it's wonderful that, Old Forester and Brown Foreman, who owns Old Forester, Suntory, who owns Jim Beam and countless other brands, that Heaven Hill and Sazerac and all these big players on the world stage of distilling, they'll always be around. But if you want to taste a local spirit, if you want to try something that is worth trying, supports the local business, and supports the future of distilling, buy local whiskey. If you like the tasting notes that I deliver on something like, for example, Three Crosses Noble Hound Dark Rye, go buy a bottle. It's well worth the money. I don't have a lot to give to this industry that I love and that I want to one day be a part of. But if I can give them just a few more dollars, a few more sales from you, that would be enough. It's been a long, hard few years. COVID put a dent in the distilling industry, and it is now starting to flourish again. And I am proud to say that I have tried a great number of the spirits, or I've tried spirits from a great number of Virginia distilleries. I've had the opportunity to try things that I never would have considered trying. I have been gifted the opportunity to try craft whiskeys from all over the United States. And I know that that's not an opportunity that everybody has. But I want to share my love of craft distilling, of good whiskey, with you, with anybody who sees this. If you like whiskey, if you want to support the future of craft whiskey, there is no better way than to buy a bottle, buy a t-shirt, buy a hat, which reminds me I need to buy more distillery hats. I don't have any distillery hats. I need to fix that. And I've gotten rambly and off track, but it's dry week, so it's hard to talk about like whiskey without having something in the glass to demonstrate. But that's okay. Got my caffeine, and yeah. If you've enjoyed this rambling nonsense, please consider liking, subscribing. If you want to see more of this sort of thing, I have an Etsy shop. I sell pens. This one is made from a Jim Beam barrel stave. It's a nice roller ball. It's a high quality pen. Very nice. And I also sell bowls, handmade by me. That one's cherry. If you would like the news, the latest news on the latest developments in American distilling, which is American single malt whiskey. The Single Malt Frontier may very well be the channel for you. It is run by my friend Doug, and I co-host on his show. And I may or may not be running a stream almost on my own this week. We will see. In the meantime, go support your local distilleries. Or maybe not super local, because there are plenty of places that don't have a distillery within easy distance, But if you've got a distillery within an hour's drive, it is well worth the time to go and tour, learn about what they're doing, and buy some of their spirits. Until next time, vote in the Virginia Whiskey Tournament, and take care. See you.